Basically 2010 Nissan Maxima of roughly around 185,000 miles. I'm going to be swapping out the radiator because I had a very bad radiator leak a couple of days ago that pretty much drained all the antifreeze out, so led me to believe it is the radiator. In order to get to this job, you've got to do a couple of different things. Take off some stuff on the top end. You've also got to remove the front nose bumper cover on the car, and also the actual bumper itself underneath to get it all done. But we're going to basically go through the processes. Again, I'm not a mechanic, so it's a DIY project. Encourage you to all do the same at home. All right, so let's get started. The car is in great shape. I have almost 85,000 miles on it. I do a lot of the maintenance, regular maintenance myself, and I'm a big fan of DIY projects. So I always try to see where I can challenge myself to do something new and also to save some money. This project basically now includes removing and replacing the radiator that's up here in the front behind the fan support on one side and behind the condenser on the other side. Want to start off with a complete disclosure. I am not a mechanic. I figure all of this stuff out as I go along. And basically, thanks to the benefit of a lot of information I could research and find on even YouTube and Maxima forums, there was lots of great instruction that helped me through this. So this is just my take on the replacement process for this radiator, which is basically right here. There are going to be a lot of things that need to come off in order to get to it, and I've already actually started removing some things. There's, of course, normally a plastic shroud that's along the top here. That's already been removed. I also basically have removed the top hose that goes from the radiator filler cap or filler neck into the actual engine here, and I've basically blocked both of those areas off with tissue to avoid anything getting in there. And then I've also already removed the plastic filler neck that's here. I actually recently just replaced it, but I've removed all of that in advance while I was trying to figure out where the leak was coming from. So all of this started because a few days ago I was backing into the driveway and noticed that my antifreeze was leaking again, and there was a massive amount of antifreeze leaking. So that led me to check, of course, the reservoir, which was empty, the radiator, which was empty at that time, and then stick some catch pans below here to catch all the radiator fluid, the coolant that was running out, because it was leaking at just that much. So led me to believe that the radiator is cracked. So I've ordered a new radiator, just had the parts delivered today. I chose to order from AutoZone, so my new radiator is here inside the box. I'll show you a little bit more about that as I get it outside of the box, but basically this is me getting ready to get started. Got myself antifreeze, 2 containers of antifreeze. I know it only costs for about 9 quarts, but got some to make sure I have extra. Got my table set up, so I've got my work tools, everything that I think I can need, old containers to get rid of the old radiator fluid, and then basically just try to organize things as much as I can. I've taken some of the parts off already, like I said, so basically, of course, I keep those bolts that I've removed already in one convenient location. The plastic tabs from the shroud at the bottom, I've already started to remove those as well, so I've got them there. And since I had the opportunity to do the job, I also went ahead and just cleaned off the plastic shroud because, of course, it had lots of antifreeze that leaked on it. So cleaned it off with some all-purpose cleaner and a brush, letting it dry now while I get ready to start the project. So come along with me for the ride, and hopefully this will help you. I mentioned I already removed a few parts, so these are some of the things that I've already taken off. So of course you see the plastic shroud that goes over the front end, normally covers the radiators. Of course this is the filler neck here that I removed with the radiator fill cap on there. This is the upper hose here that I already removed. There's a plastic tray that's actually part of the air intake system that I already removed, and then also of course the actual top part to the air intake. Gotta take off the battery here to remove that, so that way I can get to the transmission cooler lines that are on this side of the radiator. It makes it a lot easier when the battery is out of the way, and also just because you're working on the front end and you have sensors in the front end, including ambient air temperature sensors and possibly airbag sensors, you want to make sure you disconnect the battery so you don't have any mistakes that wind up giving you a lot of trouble down the road. Okay, so I removed the battery out of the car. That'll help us get access through this way back to the transmission cooler lines that are right there on the back of the radiator. We'll need that later on, so it's a good idea to get it out of the way in the very beginning. Next thing to do now is I'm going to start removing the bumper cover. 2 screws here. I already took one out on that side. The opposite one is over here on this side. I'm gonna pop that out as well. Already moved the plastic shroud to clean that when I was actually checking for the leak. So I've got a couple more screws to remove on this side. Basically, you can see 2 Phillips screws there. They'll have to come out. On the same on this side, 2 more Phillips screws there. That'll have to come out. So then I'm gonna have to remove the 10mm bolt on this side, and then there's one also on the opposite side of the car as well. All you have to do is really just pull back the wheel liner to get to that. And once those come out, then I'll be able to get the bumper cover off.